What's up, everybody? Justin Hayes here from superhumanpursuits.com, and today I'm going to go over self-myofascial release for the shin muscles. And I'm no anatomy expert here, but the techniques that I'm about to show you basically address the tibialis anterior and the peroneals. So first of all, before I show you the actual techniques, let me show you the 3 tools that I primarily use for this area of my body. PVC roller, talked about him before, but there he is. Theracane, and in this instance, for the front of the shin muscles, a lot of people have probably heard of the stick, and the stick has similar properties to this. It's actually just a straight bar. Well, I use the straight side of the Theracane here for this area. And the last thing is one of my favorites, the TP quad baller from TP Therapy guys. So this guy is, he's same functionality as the PVC roller, but I'll show you when we get into the techniques. You'll see how you can be a little bit different. So let me change the camera angle and I'll go ahead and show you how the Theracane works. First up, Theracane. I'm guessing that my head is probably cut off from this shot, but the goal was to get you guys a better view of what's happening on the muscle than instead of hear my talking head. So what you do here with the Theracane is, like I said before, it's very similar to the stick in this instance. And you're taking the long area here, and the stick usually just has 2 handles on the side, while I grip the Theracane very similar on the 2 handles of those, or treat these like 2 handles here. And the Theracane it's going to apply more pressure than the stick. The stick has a little bit of flexibility to it, and whereas the Theracane is stiff, it's firm. I actually prefer it, so give it a try. Both tools will work just fine. I would say that this is a more graduated tool, meaning it will apply more pressure. I like to do the first part sitting down. Up to you, you can do it standing as well. So you just foot planted and you're coming along here on the top of your shin. And in turn, you can also come up the side as well. And I like to kind of, rub in the area. I actually have quite a bit of nastiness in my right peroneal here. So whenever you're doing this, you can start to kind of invert and evert your angle. And what that's going to do is elongate that muscle a little bit and fascia and kind of give you access, a little bit more access to different areas. Now, if you want to take this technique to the next level, what you kind of need to do here is position yourself seated like this. And what I do is I hike my leg up here and I'll turn my ankle in and kind of pin it under my knee here. So this really opens everything up along this line, just as it did when we were sitting down, kind of pulling the ankle in. But what you can do here now is you can kind of lean back and use your own leverage to apply significantly more pressure along this muscle. So what that's going to do is, it's basically a progression. You start on the floor and try it. That's definitely going to be the intro level force, and then this would be a graduated level. So that's it really for this technique. Remember that when you're using the cane, just like with any other tool, if you find a certain area that has nasties in it, just stick on it for a little bit. That's going to be the determining factor on whether you get release in that area. And also with both of these, particularly I guess as a man, I have a little bit hairier legs. I don't love the feeling of this cane running up and down my legs, so sometimes when I'm going to address these areas, I'll use coconut oil or some other oil to kind of reduce the friction and give it a little bit better glide so it doesn't feel so painful. That's it for the Theracane on the shin muscles here. Let me adjust the camera angle. We'll get to the floor and I'll show you the quad baller and the PVC roller. On the floor now, I got the PVC roller out here. I'm going to show you a couple techniques with this, and we'll kind of go through how to progress with this guy as well. So, basic stuff here. you're just aligning your shin here. You know, keep it off the bone. But you're going to put the roller here, and you can see I'm just rolling around front. You take it a little bit more to the side here. And now when I'm doing this technique, you see that my left leg back here is kind of planted. It's basically allowing me to make this a little bit gentler exercise by pushing myself up and kind of not applying as much pressure here. So if you wanted to take this up a notch, you would go ahead and just wrap this. It doesn't really matter exactly where you put this leg. Sometimes I'll put it actually on top of here, but just cross them over here. And you're doing the same techniques again, just on the front, on the side here. And then same thing, same concept as before. You can kind of start to elongate these muscles by inverting and everting your ankle, or pulling it up and pulling it down while you're doing this exercise. So, here I'll pull the ankle up, I'll pull it out, in, back, and that's going to allow all sorts of different areas along here. So just experiment in that range of motion there. And if you find a spot, just like anything else, sit, stick. You can kind of give it a little more pressure if you want here with this top foot. And so that's it there for the PVC roller. Now the TP quad baller here, same concepts obviously as this. So the same techniques that just applied to that PVC roller are going to apply here, but let me show you how it's a little bit different here. So the quad baller, what it does is it allows you access. I personally believe this. I don't want to say that I know this for a fact, but this device allows me to get closer to my joints. Meaning that PVC roller, when I roll close to my ankle joint here, it doesn't feel so good, and I can't get very close to it. And the same thing applies when you get closer to the knee here. And what the quad baller does is it kind of has a little bit softer surface here. And it allows you to get, it's also a little bit more focal, not quite as wide as a PVC roller. And it allows you to get a little bit closer to these areas and address the muscles that are closer to the bone. So let me show you here. So that allows me to kind of get closer down to my ankle without, experiencing pain. Pain that, is not conducive to myofascial release. We're just looking to feel uncomfortable. We're not looking for pain. So that, you can see it gets closer to the ankle there. You can kind of bring it in here. And then same thing at the other end. It allows you to get a little bit closer to the knee there. And just like with the PVC roller, like I said, you can move your ankle different directions here, and it's going to present different, kind of open different things up and give you access to different areas. That's it for these two tools. Hope these things helped out. If you guys have any questions or suggestions, I'd love to hear them. Always looking for new techniques and ways to do this stuff better. So give me a shout. Talk to you later.
If you have any questions, suggestions, or general feedback, please feel free to leave me a comment below. You can also get in touch with me on Twitter at Justin M. Hayes, Hays, or at my website, www.superhumanpursuits.com.